Good morning, everyone. Good morning, football fans, and good morning, XFL fans. It's been a while since we've done a video because there's really been nothing substantial to talk about or report. I mean, they have done these showcases, and yesterday was today's the 30th, last day of June. Yesterday was the 7th XFL showcase down in Tampa Bay, and man, I cannot imagine being a player having a showcase in hot, humid, sunny Florida at the end of June. But we only have one more showcase to go. That'll be a couple of weeks from now, on the 13th, the final one in St. Louis. Hopefully they do that inside the TWA Dome, because there's nothing pleasant about the heat and humidity in Missouri this time of year either. Now, I've been saying that I have a feeling they're going to wait for these XFL showcases to be over with until they start announcing the XFL team names, logos, and colors, and unfortunately it looks like I have been right. But we do have some news that have been coming out of Seattle. I saw the article about 4 days ago. I looked into it more and more to see if it was legit and not just some bogus jerk reporting on something that he doesn't know what he's talking about. But it seems to be legit that Seattle, at least XFL Seattle, has released the 5 possible names for their franchise. And thank you, Seattle, for not leaving your fan base hanging like we are the other 7 cities. But let's talk about these names. They got 5 of them. We'll talk about my least favorite first, and that is the Dragons, the Seattle Dragons. Listen, I remember the team called the Barcelona Dragons in the World League of American Football, or NFL Europe League. I had no problem with that name. Not that Dragons is synonymous with Spain or Barcelona, but since Europe is a much older continent than the United States, I could see, well, maybe you could fit Dragons in to Barcelona. I don't see how Dragons fits into the state of Washington or Seattle at all. The only thing I can think of here, they're just trying to do something totally different. And sorry, I am not a fan of the Seattle Dragons. Nice name for maybe another team overseas. That's fine. Not for a team in the United States. I just don't see the Dragons fitting anywhere in this country or the city of Seattle. Sorry, I just don't see it. Let's talk about the other one here. The Wild, the Seattle Wild. No. If the team was playing somewhere in the state of Washington other than Seattle, maybe more inland where you do have wildlife, I could see them calling the Washington Wild. But in the city of Seattle, there isn't much wild other than the crime going on in the city of Seattle, and I don't think that would be a good reason to have a team nickname based on the amount of crime that's gone up in the city of Seattle. Like I said, it was further inland. It was a suburban area in Washington. I would have no problem calling the Washington Wild. But as much as I like the Wild name, it's been great for Minnesota. I think it fits Minnesota awesome. I just don't see it for Seattle, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I did a video on Seattle nicknames, and they've taken none of mine, so who am I to judge? Let's see. The third one here we'll talk about here is the Seattle Fury. The Fury. I have no problem with this nickname. It is different. It's not really original. I think there's according to my picture in the corner there, you got the second team called the Ottawa Fury. Now, for all you people that want original names, original nicknames, listen, here's the problem. We have the NFL, we have the MLB, we have hockey, we have the NBA, and we have minor league baseball, we have college football, we have NBA G League, we have NHL minor league franchises. After a while, it just becomes difficult to come up with something original. And that's just the franchises in this country. Then you have teams overseas, I'm sure, that have different nicknames. And not that I pay attention to overseas sports. I really don't, other than the World Cup. That for the men's, that comes every 4 years. But those are just team name countries. But how original can you get with a team nickname with all the franchises we have in minor league sports, pro sports, college sports? It's very difficult. So for people who are looking, who want something really original, well, then show us what would be original. That would be a good marketing tool and a good team nickname. It's very difficult. So I have no problem with the Fury. Now, does it fit Seattle? Well, yeah, ask the people up in Seattle and the Washington State area that one. I don't know. The next one we'll talk about is the Force. The Seattle Force. Now, I don't know any team out there called the Force. If there is, well, let me know. There's nothing on the pro circuit or the 4 major sports in this country that I'll call the Force, and I'm not including soccer because I don't think soccer, even though we have a professional league, it's not a major sport in this country. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It has gotten popular over the years as proof of the MLS. They're still in business, but it still falls way behind the other 4 major sports, including hockey, which is basically a sport that's real popular up in New England and really in the upper Midwest where it's cold all year. But I have no problem with the Force. I actually like it. There's no other team called, as I know of, called the Force. And a team that doesn't end in S. A lot of people are making this big deal. All teams' nicknames end in S. Who really cares? It's something that doesn't really bother me. But then again, I don't live in Seattle. People in Seattle, Washington State, what do you think about the Seattle Force? I like it. Now, the name I like the most is the Surge. The Seattle Surge. Of course, you remember from the old World League of American Football League, the Sacramento Surge that won the 2nd ever World League title. Back in '93, they beat Orlando up in Montreal. I like this. This seems to fit Seattle the most, and it's pretty much the closest to all the nicknames I had. I'm trying to remember what I had for the Seattle nicknames. I had the Tsunami for Seattle, I think, and I had the Waves for LA. So Surge, I have no problem with the Surge. This is the one I like the best, but I have no problem with the Force. And I really have no problem with the Fury either. The other two, the Wild, does not seem to go with Seattle, unless it was further inland. And Dragons make 0 sense. I hope they scratch that one off. Out of the 5 they have, I hope the Dragons is scratched off right away. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I don't think I have to be from Seattle, Washington area to really say that the Dragons does not fit the Seattle team name at all. So that's my choices. I would go with the Surge. I think I like it because I was also a big fan of the World League of American Football, so it kind of brings back that memory of the Sacramento Surge. I'm not going to lie to you. I like the Surge. I like the Seattle Force second. Fury third. And Wild fourth by default because Dragons is absolutely horrible. But hopefully they chuck the Dragons. I can live with the Wild, although I'm not crazy about it. But the other 3 I like, the Fury, the Force, and my favorite, the Surge. Alright, folks, let me know what you think. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, this is my old New York, New Jersey Hitman jersey from the old XFL days. I finally found it, dug it out of the closet. I will do a video shortly on this, give you up close what it looks like for those of you who might have been too young to remember the XFL or need a refresher. Alright, XFL fans, football fans, hopefully we start getting more hints from the other 7 franchises. Hopefully you get this press conference soon. I got a feeling it's not going to be till after the 13th of July. It cannot come soon enough. I want to buy some gear, and I'm sure the rest of you feel the same way. So, football fans, XFL fans, be patient. It's all we can do. We'll talk to you later.